Detroit Police Chief James White has voiced the need for more mental health services, and it again hits close to home as a shooting at a home on Beaconsfield near Meringue on the east side is reminding us why he put that call out.
And police saying an uncle shot and killed his 16-year-old nephew. The man's mother called 911, and when police arrived, he leveled a gun at officers and they exchanged gunfire. He was shot and killed by police.
We're told the uncle was experiencing a serious mental health episode that lasted, family says, for days, maybe even a week. It's more tragic for the family knowing his mom tried to get him help but didn't have any luck doing it.
And that is why we want to talk about this new citywide campaign, which hopes to find what challenges people are facing when it comes to mental health and then trying to pool resources into those areas where they're most needed. Joining us more to talk about that, Detroit City Council President Pro Tem James Tate. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Let's start right there with the obvious jumping off point. We've seen over several years that when people talk about curbing violence in the city, you need to start with mental health and some of these. Is that where kind of the impetus for this was, of this program?
So, you know, this has been a long journey for me to get to this point. You know, you have different priorities and then also figuring out who you are yourself, me. And what I've seen is that over a period of time, a lot of the things that we call devious criminal behavior, and not criminal behavior, it's actually mental health concerns and that have not been addressed. And so for me, it's important for us to not just provide that level of accountability, which we have to, but also try to figure out how do we peel the layers back and find out how to get to the core, the root of this particular issue, because if that individual does not find the piece that they need, if they don't find what they have to peel back the layers for themselves, they're going to pass it on to their children, and that's going to continue on, and it's a cycle. And it's unfortunate what we see here with that tragic incident over the weekend, and my condolences go out to the family.
Mental health has certainly been an issue for a very long time, but in more recent years, we're starting to see more and more incidents where there's this cry for help that just isn't there. So the Protect Your Crown initiative that you have here in the city of Detroit, is that going to help to try to find more resources?
So that's the goal. Right now, we are, bringing about awareness, talking about it, making sure that we kind of reduce the stigma. But that's starting to happen now, thankfully. But folks just don't know, similar to what you mentioned with the story before, where to go. They don't know how to get those resources. So this is a long-term campaign that is started last week. We're going to continue as we move forward to provide people with that information. Where do you get access? How do you get access? A lot of people don't know with your employer, your insurance pays for some level of mental health treatment. And so that is the long-term goal, to see how we address this from a holistic standpoint from a city. And the information that we receive from the surveys that we're putting out, that is in fact going to be used for us to better understand from the city what is the state of mental health in the city of Detroit, but also what are the resources that we should be going after.
What's the number of people you kind of have in mind, or how many people are you trying to get involved? Is that kind of open-ended with this?
Yeah, so 5,000 is what we're seeking. That's nearly 1% of the population. It's very ambitious, so if you look at other surveys, you don't see that many. But we want to really dive in deep and try to figure out what is going on with the city of Detroit, what's working, what isn't working. We're looking at the first couple of months, see what the temperature's like. Then we're going to do a refresh, rebrand if we have to, but 5,000 is what we're going after, because the more information we have, the more we know about what's going on in the city, and that gives us, again, a very large target for us to go and focus on
snowball,
the resources.
And so this is in conjunction with the mayor's office and the health department, and the survey, I think people need to know, particularly if they're going through any type of mental health crisis, it's completely anonymous. The point is just to get a pulse of what's going on zip code to zip code.
Yeah, it's 19 questions, really simple, but they are personal questions, and we want to make sure that people understand that this is confidential. We don't want to know who you are. We just want to know what zip code you live in, so we again know what's happening in different parts of the city. So very critical, very key to understand. Confidential survey, and you can Google "Protect Your Crown Detroit." The first link that will come up will give you the link to the story, to the survey, as well as a theme song that we produced as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. And you can see when you had that full screen up, there's a little barcode there if you want to.
QR code.
QR code, yeah, that'll take you right to that. This I feel like this is hand in hand with a lot of different programs the city is trying to implement to try and accomplish the same type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is just another tool that we're utilizing to try to, again, figure out how do we, as the city of Detroit, be the best that we can for our residents who deserve it.
And when we talk about a city like Detroit that's predominantly black, I know that over time it's been African Americans that are hesitant about getting mental health help.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that's the good thing about where we are in this stage of life right now in our journey. Younger people are talking about it, regardless if you're black, white, whoever. So we are allowing these young people to lead us, if you will, and we're following their.
And that it's okay to get help. It's okay to ask for help.
It's absolutely okay, and it's okay not to feel okay. And take some time back and take consultation of yourself. I think that's the part that we don't necessarily do very well. Take the time to step away and be stronger when you come back.
You're right about that, though. Kids are the first people to tell you, or young people, about self-care.
Yeah.
I don't even think we knew that word when we were growing up.
They're figuring it out early.
They certainly are.
I'm glad you came in to talk about this today, and I really hope we hear a lot more about this going forward, and maybe this snowballs and you get way more than 5,000 people getting involved.
And you guys got to make sure you protect your crowns as well.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Will do. Councilman Pro Tem James Tate.
Appreciate you coming in.
it.